Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiron Dadia. We have with us Mohan Joshi, ED Commercials. Steel Strip Wheels joining in. Mohan, a very warm welcome to the show. My first question coming to you over here is, all of us have looked at the lockdown, everything was shut, a major impact on economies across the globe. What's the sense that you picked up in these 65 to 70 days of lockdown with regards to business?
Thanks a lot for having me on the show. I think the lockdown was definitely one of the most shocking instances for the industry, wherein almost everything was shut. Specifically, when we are not in an essential industry base, so obviously we were shut, and production bases were shut for almost 2 months. And in that lockdown, what we could do in terms of is the thinking that post-lockdown, how we are going to operate in terms of the business model and how the business model is going to revive itself with lack of demand from the domestic market. So a lot of people have thought of that factor and are working on the fact that we are seeing exports as a dominant factor. What are the other features that we can produce and make good of what we have lost? So the good thing is that now the COVID is on a unlocked basis, and we are trying to work out on all our factories. So fortunately, all the factories are open now. From our parent plant in Dappar to 2 plants in Chennai to 2 plants in Jamshedpur to Mehsana. So all plants are running and running at close to 35 to 40% utilization. And I expect these utilization to move up significantly higher in the month of July and August to the tune of 70 to 75%.
Okay.
Backed by very, very strong demand coming in from the rural segment, which is the tractor side, the MUV side, which is based on rural, and the smaller car segment, which is based out of rural. The other side, which is very, very strong, is the export side. I think we ended up in the month of March with a run rate of close to 200,000, 225,000 kind of number for the shipments. And we have already surpassed that in the month of June. So I am 100% sure that export is going to be very, very buoyant because Europeans and the American markets have opened up fairly well. And anyways, they never had that kind of a lockdown that the way that India had. So these are some of the greener pastures. The third thing that I would say that is two-wheelers and the three-wheeler side, which is going to be the next paradigm shift wherein people will move towards personalized travel, wherein rather than going by a bus or a train,
Right.
they would like to take the chance of a 40,000 rupee or a 50,000 rupee kind of a two-wheeler and say that yes, I will buy this two-wheeler and maybe be safe for next 1 year till the time there is no vaccine or there is no medicine for COVID. So the stuff has been good, and we are fairly confident that by July and August, all the factories will run to the tune of close to 70-75% in the setup that we are available.
Right. So overall, if you could just help me understand, between the 1st of August to now, what's the kind of sales and revenue loss that we've seen?
It's from the 1st of April, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So we typically do close to 150, 160 crores kind of a top line on a monthly basis. So in the month of April, it was almost zero. In the month of May, it was close to 39 odd crores. And in the month of June, we are anticipating this month to close at close to 105 to 110 crores. So from 150 to 105 crores in this month, I think it's a staggering coverage, pre-COVID, to COVID, to post-COVID. So I'm hoping that in the month of July, August, we will reach closer to 120 to 125 crores out of what we were doing at close to 150 odd crores. So the hope is on a caveat that we don't have a large outbreak and you have to shut down the system. That's the caveat that I would say. And I'm fairly confident that government may not shut the country now because they have tasted what is the cost of that lockdown, and they may do a structural shutdown of some regions, some places, some factories, some states. But a pan-India shutdown does not look like, because the cost of that lockdown is huge. And what I feel right now is that the unlock 1, unlock 2, unlock 3 will give much more relaxations going forward. And across the board, automobiles will be in a position to reach maybe 70 to 80% kind of a utilization by June, July, because we are going to be entering into a festive season where almost a pent-up demand is also backing you up, and a very, very strong agriculture growth, which is almost highest in many, many years now, and supported by the upfront loading of the government by procuring huge amount of grains from the open market as well as from the fresh produce, will give some bit of support to the ongoing growth paradigm.
Right. So overall, with all this, to my understanding, around almost close to 20 million units is the installed capacity what Steel Strip Wheels has right now.
Yeah.
We are saying that around 30 to 35% is the kind of capacity utilization that we're doing. But
Yeah.
from this, if you have to break it up between, say, PVs, two-wheelers, three-wheelers, tractors in terms of, and CV as well as the OTR space, where is the capacity utilization being used in terms of which segment?
Okay, so I'll go segment by segment. I think right now I'll take a base of July to be a little clearer in terms of the utilizations. So the PV segment is going to be utilized at close to 60%, as we are seeing the demand coming in from the rural side, and in the low income segment, which is sub 5 lakh, sub 6 lakh cars, are seeing a good traction, in the segment of PVs. In terms of the two-wheeler side, the utilization is going to be around about 70 to 75% utilization, where the demand is coming in from sub 40, sub 50,000 rupees bikes and scooters, where the demand is very, very strong. And I think that the numbers are going to be almost at 70-75% utilization.
Okay.
The tractor segment is going to be at almost 100% utilization. As we speak, in the month of June, we are running at 100% utilization. And the intent is that we debottleneck something and we try to deliver 100, 104, 105% because of debottlenecking exercise, and we deliver the record amount of tractor sales for the company in maybe ever. I mean, we have never seen this kind of a sale coming in from the tractor side. I think there are three factors of that. One is the very, very strong farm income. The second thing is that the farmers have become a little scared that the manpower may not return, and a permanent mechanization is happening. So a farmer who must be using 50 laborers for harvesting something may not use that, and will try to buy up 5 tractors and to see that I'll not depend on that manpower, because they were very, very close to a crop loss in the month of April, May, June, when the lockdown was there. So they have learned that lesson, and I think that that mechanization that the government was pushing for the past 5 years has come in because of COVID. And I think this full financial year will be a very, very solid year for I think entire tractor segment. The other side is the alloy wheel segment. Alloy wheel segment is going to be running at close to 70% in the month of July, August, and we are expected to hit close to 100% utilization because of the import substitution in the month of September, October, because these wheels were getting imported and we are trying to localize these supplies. So I am very, very confident that we are going to hit close to 90-100% utilization by September, October in alloy wheel segment. The other segment is the export side. Export side is, as I said earlier also, that we are going to hit higher numbers than the pre-COVID region, and these are going to be in the vicinity of PVs and fast trailers. So these are mid-segment wheels which are going to be reaching their highest mark in the month of June itself, and we expect a steady growth in these numbers going into the balance of the financial year. The problem is, lies between here and the CV. I think CV is where the problem is lying, and I am not very clear that in this financial year how the government is going to work out towards the CV side. And I think with the initiatives of the government, we will be able to run close to 35 to 40% utilization on the CV segment for the full balance year. And the focus is very clear that we increase this capacity utilization by focusing more and more on the export side and try to grab some of the market share.
Right. So with all of this, if you have to look at the OEMs that you're dealing with, say from Maruti, Tata Motors, Kia, Hyundai, M&M Escorts, as well as Ashok Leyland and Suzuki Motorcycle, to name few of them, What is their viewpoint with regards to where demand is concerned, especially in terms of where the passenger vehicle segment goes as well as the two-wheeler segment goes? Because as we know, if you're 100% at 100% utilization in tractors, that's not something that we really need to worry about. But passenger vehicles and two-wheelers, what's the sense that you're picking up?
See, the OEMs are giving a very clear indication. I think it got delivered yesterday from Hyundai and Maruti, which are both combined together are controlling close to 70% of the market, 70-75% of the market, that the numbers are going to be reaching closer to 80% utilization from the month of July. So the number which has gone to the street is close to 100,000 plus cars starting from July to ramp up the production, to make sure that the warehouses are full in place so that any disruption gets taken care of it. So this is what we are trying to pick up from the largest car maker, which is Maruti. And the second largest car maker, which is Hyundai, is also having a very, very strong growth in the two vehicle segment, which is Venue and Creta. They have a very strong backlog of demand, and they are also of the view that unless until they get disrupted by the manpower shortage because of the fact that they are present in Tamil Nadu, and which is very, very hard hit by the COVID, they are expecting this run rate to move to 75 to 80% utilization by July and August.
Right. So with this, are we trying to say that, the demand with regards to where the entry level segment goes or the mid segment goes is higher, whereas luxury is going to take a back burner right now? That's what it seems like. And if that happens, even for the ancillary companies, do you think there will be an impact, not on the top line side that much, but at least on the margin and the profitability side?
I think from the perspective of top line, I would say that people should be geared up for a 20-25% kind of a cut, because we have already lost 2 months of this financial year. And I think 20-25% kind of a cut on the top line is expected for everybody. But the greener pasture is that you have this significant disruption in the industry, which is now getting bounced back. And if you reach a level of 80%, it's a fairly strong rebound. Now, the question is that how we shape up over next 6 months or 1 year is going to be dependent on the fact that how we cope up with this financial crisis, which is going to be a factor of post-COVID. And I am hopeful that by this financial year end, which is the last quarter of this 2021, we will be close to almost 100% what we were doing pre-COVID. So I am very sure of that fact, and I think your point is valid that right now luxury may take a backseat. You may have necessities coming in the front, that wherever you need the car for basic operations, people will spend, and wherever you can postpone those decisions will be postponed for maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, depending on the urgency. And the factor which can work out good for the second hand market, which is going to be very important, that market may pick up very strong, and they may grow at maybe 15 to 20% for the financial year 2021.
Right. So with this, if we see steel strip wheels as well, Mohan, we've always seen in the last 4 or 5 years, if I have to look at data from FY15 to now, we've maintained that margin profile in that range of say 10 to 12%. In fact, we did hit almost a little over 13% in FY18 itself. And in terms of the return on capital employed, that has been ranging between that 10 to 12% bracket. Do you think we will be able to maintain that run rate in the coming years? Maybe FY21 could be a downfall, but do you think we could bounce back to similar levels in FY22? And FY21, if we see a downtake, how much could it be?
See, what we anticipate this financial year is that there is going to be 100 to 150 basis point impact coming onto the margins by the fact that there are 2 months which are lost and where the fixed cost impact had come. But for the financial year 21-22, the margin will bounce back 200 basis point to 13.5 plus, because the alloy wheel margins are 17 to 18% plus. So that is going to be close to 25% of the business in 21-22. Vis-a-vis today, they are at close to 6-7%. So I think that is going to be the major kicker for a company like ours, wherein we are targeting close to 2,000 crores kind of a top line in financial year 21-22, backed by huge capacity utilization upsurge in the alloy wheel segment. And I anticipate that the financial year 21-22 will have the EBITDA margins at closer to 13.5 to 14%. backed by the alloy wheel segment.
Right. Absolutely. I think now everyone's in terms of valuations has started to price in FY22 right now, because 21 somewhere for everyone, all industries across, is going to be kind of a washout. But with this, another question that I have, especially with regards to where alloy wheels go, is that a lot of demand pre-COVID was somewhere fulfilled by Chinese imports as well. Now with what's happening, do you think things will change? And if demand is going to actually shift to, say, locally made alloys, is the industry actually prepared for it in terms of to meet the demand?
I think it's a very good question that till last year, 45-50% of the wheels were getting imported, especially from Hyundai, which is almost 100% imported from Korea and China. The fact that it comes at a cost, so it comes at a 35% cost as anti-dumping duty. And we've been nominated by a few of the customers to localize these imports. And what I expect is that in financial year 2021, almost 90% of the imports of alloy wheels will be localized.
Okay.
And close to 80% of that localization will be based out of SSWL.
Okay.
So this is the biggest factor, that we have the capacity and the content to take up that localization. And whatever localization is pending, which is going to be spilling over into 2020, 21, 22, I am fairly confident in 21, 22, by the first half, 100% of the localization of aluminum wheels will be in India. And the local guys, which is us, the Minda Group, the Maxion Group, will be taking care of this, and we will take up whatever the Chinese were supplying and the Koreans were supplying, will go down to the Indian soil, and it will be locally made.
Right. So with this, do you think there will be extra capacity expansion that will be needed, or with the current infrastructure, we are good to go?
See, right now the capacity is enough, but as and when we move towards 21, 22, maybe a million or two in terms of the buffer that you want to keep, because we are talking only about the domestic scenario. We are not talking about the exports at all. So if you as a producer wants to do exports as well, then obviously the export has to take a hit, and you want to take and localize that product, which you don't want to do it because exports are typically a higher margin product. Maybe industry may need 1 to 2 million kind of a capacity, which is not a very large one in front of what we have today. And it will not also cost a lot of money. It is going to be maybe 150, 200 crores for the industry, and which I'm thinking is very, very confident that we are going to be doing this. And any other, right from Maxion to Minda Group will attain that, and will try to fulfill the content for the customers like Hyundai and Maruti.
Right. And overall, as we know, you've been exporting to US as well as the European Union as well. How is the demand actually shaping up in those geographies? Because we get a fair perspective from you that right now, entry-level passenger, entry-level two-wheelers is something where the demand is high. Tractors are selling really well. But when you think of the demand with regards to US as well as Europe, what's the kind of, mix are you seeing in these geographies?
See, right now the PV segment, as I said, that in European region, because Europe recovered a little earlier than the US. So Europe is already at pre-COVID levels, and the demand is very, very, very strong. And in terms of the US is picking up. I think they have started 1 month back only. Unlike Europe, which started 2 months back in the month of May end, or maybe April end, they started pulling up the wheels, and there was a lot of pressure to fly out wheels to Europe. US is already starting to reach the level of pre-COVID, and I am very, very sure that the duties which were imposed on Chinese imports on the US are going to push a lot of exports to India. So anybody whosoever is producing those wheels where the trade deal was the reason where a lot of tariffs were placed, a lot of tariffs are on countervailing basis, so they are going to be staying for next 5 years. There's a lot of opportunity, and I am hopeful that last year we did a record exports of close to 225 odd crores, and this year I am anticipating a 10 to 15% growth in that segment as well, and we may report every month a newer high for the export segment.
Right. So I think currently, if I'm not mistaken, we are in that 10 to 12% bracket of revenues in terms of exports, and we're anticipating to reach almost around 25 to 30% of the revenues.
Yeah.
Is that plan on track? By when do we see that happening?
So I think in 21, 22, we should be very close to 25% of the revenues coming from the export side.
Okay. And then with that, so that's one of the reasons why we are seeing an expansion on the margin base as well?
Yes. Yes.
Right. And currently, what's the pricing trend looking like? Are we seeing any impact in terms of pricing?
So I don't think so that any vulture pricing happened due to COVID or anything of that sort. Pricing is very, very normalized. And I think that the good thing which has happened to the company is that the raw material prices have dropped in 10-15%. And that is going to improve the working capital management and the profile of the working capital utilization, which is going to utilize, which is going to be saving some money for the company's interest payments. And the good part is that the export side is fairly very, very strong on the export margins. So I'm anticipating that the US margins will inflate to the tune of 18 to 20% because of this raw material drop, and the European margins will stay between 16-17%. And we expect this year to be sustaining these margins on the export side.
Right. And very lastly, any comments that you would want to give all our viewers right now with regards to COVID, with regards to business, anything?
I think I firstly want to say that everybody should stay safe, and if at all it is not necessary, not to travel. The second thing that I would like to say is that eventually we have to face it. So we have to face it, and we have to face it hard, and we have to get up on our feet to run, not to walk. So as a country, we have to see what are the opportunities, and there are opportunities at galore because of this COVID disruption, especially from China. You pick up any commodity, there is a space for Indians to make that commodity in India and export it. So if taken a very, very strong resolve, exports can grow at 20% plus if Indians decide that. So it's all about us, our resolve, and how to deal with it. Absolutely. And I still wish everybody to stay safe, and we all stay safe in this deadly pandemic.
Absolutely. In fact, Mohan, I just have one more question that's just come to my mind with regards to business. With regards to the operating cost, do you think that is going to be impacted right now? Because social distancing is something that we need to maintain. If that happens, the number of shifts probably go down as well, or the number of people coming in per shift go down. Is there any major impact on the operating costs?
No, I think the operating cost will be impacted a little bit because of the lower utilization. But otherwise, I think all the manufacturers are fairly confident and fairly aware about how to control those costs by optimization and by the way of various levers which are there in terms of the kitty bag that we have to control. But yes, I would not say that there is no impact of that corporation cost. Yes, there is an increase which can happen to the tune of 5 to 6%. So at a top level, it could impact the margin by 1% or so in terms of the EBITDA, which is going to be coming in the financial year 2021.
Right. All right, Mohan. Pleasure speaking to you. I hope you enjoyed the conversation as well. Great insights that we picked up, not only for steel strips wheels, but even for the industry as a whole as to how the demand picture and the supply picture is panning out. But we will see you soon as well to understand how the demand pickup has happened in the next 2 to 3 months and how the shift has moved from here on. But thank you so much for joining in. Stay safe and, work safely as well. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for having me. Thank you.